What's up, everybody? Your boy P. Welsh here, bringing to you the 2025 UFC Bantamweight Division Preview. Starting off here with the champ, Merab Dvalishvili, number one contender, Sean O'Malley, who he defeated for the belt. Number one contender, Umar Nagamagan. Umar is fighting for the belt here, January 18th. Exciting fight. Peter Yan over Figueiredo recently. Sandman coming off the loss. There you got Figueiredo, Vera, Cejudo, Sonya Dong, Robbie Font, Mario Batista, Jose Aldo, Kyler Phillips, Eamon Zahabi, Marcus McGee, and Montel Jackson round out the top 15. Some new entries into the top 15 in the bantamweight towards the bottom, those last three guys. Very interesting year for the bantamweights. I think a lot of high-end prospects, a lot of deep prospects, a lot of fluctuation in the division. I think it's like the flyweight on steroids, where like not only are there guys challenging for the top 15, 5, and belt, but there's also guys challenging the top 25 to get into that 25 to 16 range. And there's some good guys in that 25 to 16 range too. Interesting breakdown at the end of the year. I mean, I want Merab to win personally as a fan, but I don't know any way how you can not pick Umar at some point. Like, I just think he'll just get the better of Merab and he'll just look better doing it. I think he's got better hands, better grappling, better defense. Like, even if he gets him down, is he going to keep him down? Is he going to not make a mistake? It's very emotionally charged. Like, yeah, I really want Merab to win and show how classy he is, but this is one I think the derailed train, and I think Umar can hold it for the year. He might only have to fight one more time, defend it once. I would say 2025 champion would be Umar. I think he'll get a favorable. I don't know. Who knows? Again, this is like the UFC is all about the matchups and the fights they make, because there's so many possibilities depending on who matches up with who, depending on what they want to put on the line. Which, like, some things, like, I don't think you'd put like Jackson McGee versus on the line 14-15. I think you'd balance that out a little bit differently. So as we move on through the year, I think Petr Yan will get a title shot. If not, he should fight O'Malley at some point. But I don't even know if O'Malley would fight Yan with a guaranteed title shot on the line against Umar. I think he might even think about a different way to try and attack the title point in time instead of having to go through both those guys at the current state. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen in the bantamweight. I mean, especially with the title, I think Umar is going to win. I would put money on Umar to win if I had to. He forced me to. I love Merab. He's one of my personal favorites. Didn't pick him against O'Malley. That was a massive mistake. But I think he's a machine, and I think he literally beats everybody not named Umar in the entire world at bantamweight. I'm interested in what what they're gonna do with the division, because like, are they gonna run rematches in the top? Like, I feel like this is kind of like similar to lightweight, where they kind of stagnated the top of the division when fighting one another. Also, because like they'd start to get lower end guys, so hopefully some of these prospects can maybe step up in there. Interesting. I really could. You got Cejudo, Font, Batista, and Phillips. I think all potential drop out of the rankings at some point this year. It's not only that. I think the guys that potentially could come in and look great, Vinicius Oliveira, Daniel Marcos, and Jonathan Martinez, can all have spectacular wins against lower end guys that put them up there. And I mean, Phillips is coming off a loss against Font, so he's basically out there. Any of the bottom three guys too, again, depending on the matchups, could be out of the division if they go fight some difficult matchup, at some point during the year. Very fascinating. I think we have only two scheduled bouts. We have Umar Merab, the title fight. We have Sayed and Vinicius Oliveira, one of my favorite prospects, and Peyton Talbot versus Rohan Barcelos on UFC 311 as well. So I think Peyton Talbot, one of those guys we might see right there at 15 at the end of 2025. Raul Rosas Jr. This is a lot. Charles Air Jourdain. We got to start breaking down this division, because right now we can talk about. The thing is, it's all speculation on who the potential matchups. I mean, Figueiredo can fight Cejudo. He could fight almost anybody. Cheeto. He just fought Cheeto. So it's like, where do we really go? What do we see? Who's going to get matched up with who? I would like to see Figueiredo Batista. I think that would be a banger. I think Batista wouldn't be able to handle Figueiredo physically, and he would be forced to strike. I think that would be good. Sonya Dong coming off Petr Yan, but that's not a bad one. Yan turned it on, so you can see maybe him, Sandman. Aldo is a big draw. You can do Aldo Cheeto. Would be one of the freaking clash of fans. That's be incredible. Phillips again. Who's Phillips gonna go up against? Is he gonna have to go fight somebody like Jonathan Martinez? Is he gonna have to go fight somebody? I mean, Vinicius is on the car. Is already got booked fight. Daniel Marcos just had another convincing win. He hasn't really had the knockouts to make him pop, but if he gets a knockout win against somebody, he could be different. And I was really high on Phillips, but the way that he performed against Robbie Font was just I don't know I don't know. Some guys sometimes they got bad matchups and bad nights. So that being said, I think we can do the next 15 in the bantamweight division. I mean, Montel Jackson 22nd KO against Damon Blackshear. Marcus McGee is on a nice run himself. He's on 6 in a row, couple KOs. The Hobby's on 5 in a row, looking solid. Really solid for 135. Again, just that Robbie Font in the Matrix. Cheeto Vera's not been in the best run of form. 3 out of 4, only beating Munoz. Somehow getting a title fight off of that alone. I like Jose Aldo, even despite that he's probably like 45 years old. I still think he's got some good fights that you can go fight him against anybody. And I think Batista and Figueiredo would be good. You can match Sandman versus there's so many possibilities. And I think we should start talking about the guys that are knocking on the door because I think those are the guys we could start with who is right outside that 15. Jonathan Martinez, who lost 2 straight fights to Jose Aldo and Marcus McGee. That's no sweat about him, but he's got some vicious leg kicks. He really does a lot of damage, and he was coming back against McGee. McGee won that fight in the first 2 rounds, but Jonathan really turned it on in the 3rd round. Daniel Marcos, I think he's very clean. He was honestly on a complete tear. Maybe not having the most competition, but just looking really, really sharp. He even had a no contest against Ariki Lang that he was whooping him. Montel Jackson got great power for the division. I think he could be somebody that I would love to see fight Phillips. I don't know if they would put him on the line. Fight Batista would be nice. Vinicius Oliveira, I think, is one of the best prospects, and he can rise up fast. Again, put him against Phillips. Zahabi. It'd be really interesting depending on who they want to make with the matchups and the prospects. Um, you know, Taylor Lapulus is somebody that's coming off. He's been looking solid. Only lost to Basharat. He's coming off a loss to Zahabi. He hasn't looked the best. He's got some stuff to prove, to be honest. I think Zahabi or Basharat has a chance to really another person to have a great year. Peyton Talbot on the books is really good. I think he'll work Borrallos. I think Borrallos is one of those guys. He's ripened for studs, right? Lost to Henry, lost to Umar, lost to Phillips. Like he just doesn't beat the talented guys that Vinicius is going to be. I think we see him ascend. You got to talk about Charles Air Jourdain, one of my guy, Raul Rojas Jr. Let's see what Chiwiwi gets into. Chiwiwi did lose, and he's on a 3-fight winning streak since then, and no lie, I love Ricky Tercios and, Ariki Lang. So let's see what Raul does. I think he'll get another kind of cupcake, somebody down towards here, John Castaneda. You can get some guys down there that can, even Henry or something like that, where like he's challenging himself but not really putting himself in danger. So, I think about I see the guy on the list, Pedro Munoz. He was on this ranking list and now he's nowhere to be found. I think a few of these guys might be knocking on that door in a way, just because I think the talent in this division is supreme, and depending on the activity level, like anybody can fight 3 times and change their entire career in 1 year. Somebody like Marcos, especially, like you find the rhythm, you get some good opponents, and you start like you learning how to be a mixed martial artist and do everything well. I think there's such a development curve for the UFC. That's something I want to talk about too, that you see they do with Talbot, and somebody that you got to say that is also on the list is Patchy No Love Mix. I think you got to think about his Bellator championship and where it's gonna where it could lead him into the UFC. I don't think the UFC should put these guys in high-level fights right away. I think they really need to fight a ranked opponent. What they did to Kai Asukora, I don't think is necessarily the best. I mean, look at somebody even like Tatsu Taira, a undefeated veteran, can still lose to Royval or Moreno, was it? It was Royval, right? So even something like that. So I really think instead of throwing Asukora against Pantoja, that if somebody like Patchy Mix comes over, we gotta throw him somebody like Kyler Phillips or somebody experienced to see what he's really got, because it's gonna be an absolute challenge. There's levels to this in the UFC, and so I think there's a lot of matchups that can be made, and boy, oh boy, the bantamweight should be heavy. They should. I really feel like they're gonna roll out some a lot of spicy matchups here in the next month or so for this bantamweight division as the fights start rolling up. I think they're taking the time out, getting everything, letting people enjoy their holiday. I think we're seeing starting next Tuesday some fight announcements, and it's going to be looking live. Boy, like I said, we go Marcos Martinez, Taylor Lapulus, Charles Jourdain, Vinicius Oliveira, Raul Rosas Jr., Peyton Talbot. Said Basharat, Patchy Mix, Syed Nurmagomedov. He's fighting Vinicius, so he could have, he's coming off a loss, to Martinez a while ago. I think the striking will prevail for Oliveira there too, so I don't really have him too high. But man, there's like 10 guys that are knocking on the door, and if there's going to be some dudes slipping up, Robbie Font, Mark Issa, Kyler Phillips, Henry Cejudo, you can't be protecting Cejudo anymore. Is he gonna fight? Who's he gonna fight? Throw him in against somebody. Kyler Phillips. I'm throwing Kyler Phillips up there against anybody, bro. He's got to fight again. I don't know. I was just very. I just think that wasn't a Kyler Phillips performance, and I want him to redeem himself. So I really just unbelievable matchups to be made. And then there's so many people that I don't talk about, right? Like Ricky Simon, Adrian Yanez, Davey Grant, Victor Henry, right? So many guys that potentially, that are going to be fighting too. Brady Heinstead, I'm really big fan of him. Drukov, Nakamura, Gene Matsumoto, I think is a great. If depending on the matchups, if he doesn't have to fight a pure striker, I think Gene Matsumoto can get about another 2 wins this year, depending on his situation and who he fights. I think he's a live guy to get kind of pushing up. Maybe not into the top 15, but top 25. I think you'll see Gene Matsumoto up there. Again, we'll see who he gets matched up with. If you put him against Henry, I think he subs Henry. You know what I mean? And then he's up 20 spots. So, very interesting division, very compelling. I love the UFC breakdowns. I really think we're going to sit with Merab here at the champ for the time being, or for the next couple weeks, but then Umar is going to take over. I think we'll see Piotr Jan is my opinion the best overall fighter. Like the fact that man is not on this pound for pound list, like these rankings, they should probably go to 25 and do other stuff. I don't really understand what the UFC does with these. They're way too arbitrary. They're way too mix and match just based on like the top guys fighting each other and winning one belt one time. But to my opinion, Piotr Jan is pound for pound way better than a lot of the fighters on the list. Leon Edwards. But killing me, Leon, don't bully your son. I just think this is going to be an insane year for the bantamweight division. Looking forward with a lot of uncertainty. There's so much uncertainty, but not, you know what it is? It's not happening. We're moving up to featherweight, lightweight, future. Like guys retiring, guys switching divisions, guys with no matchups yet. Lot of uncertainty in those next 2 divisions. Bantamweight feeling very strong, very solidified on what's going to happen there. Who nobody's probably moving up for the most part, and we have a scheduled title bout here in less than about 2 weeks. So Rob Umar is going to set the tone for the year. I think we're going to see Umar really. I think he's going to take the belt, and then like I said, he's going to have Jan, somebody else. I mean, I just don't see Umar losing. I just think. I don't want to say. I just think the judges too, man. The judges just favor them. In a way, I think he looks good to the judges. I don't understand the scoring when I watch some of their fights. Something that I just don't understand. Maybe I'm just not as experienced as a savant mixed martial arts subject. But I got Umar against Merab. I got Umar at the end of the year. I got Umar defending his title once. Some point September, October. Abu Dhabi again, probably that October card. Usually go there like 3 times. I think what we were there last year. I think they were there 3 times. We're starting there in probably go like April, June, and like October. Usually to 3 different places out there. If that happens again, we're going once in January. And then, boy, oh boy. I can't wait to get some of these other divisions. We got a lot of work still to do. We still got the one card to break down as well. The I think it's Mackenzie Dern and we're gonna have that video sometime. Probably just gonna do that next week as normal. Yeah, Hebos Dern, pretty decent card there. A lot of guys I really like. Razak Al-Hassan, Chris Curtis, Kopolov, Medic Soriano. A lot of just Toluco. So we'll see what happens here. Should be excited to the fight year. Then into that monster double title fight, Islam Makhachev, Armin Sarukian, Jesus, Jesus. I don't even know what to say about that card, bro. They're bringing the freaking absolute juice to start the UFC. You talk about star power. What a card. What a card here, Jamal. Boy, oh boy. We got some work to do, ladies and gentlemen. Keep training. Keep take care of yourselves. We'll be back for the featherweight division here soon enough. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much if you made it this far. Like, comment, subscribe. Your favorite bantamweight. Who do you think will be champ? Drop a sub if you haven't yet. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your friends and your family. Peace and love.